Welcome to the Let's Talk podcast, the podcast where I talk about whatever I feel like. Today I have a guest. Say hello, guest.
Hello.
This is the almighty Gustavo. But for short purpose, if I ever need to condense it, I might just refer to you as Gustavo.
That's
Just
fine.
yeah. All right. Anyways, the way I usually start this, how I've started the last two, is a little bit of small talk. So, um, how are you? What have you been up to? I know that you watched a movie yesterday. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I was watching the Human Centipede finally.
mm,
It was alright. It was not as gory as I thought it was gonna be, but of course, I don't. It still made me a little bit queasy, but I kind of already knew. I'd already seen stuff about it beforehand, so made the impact a little less significant.
right.
But
But I mean, it's still gory.
yeah,
um,
I didn't know if they were going to talk about it in the movie, but I knew going in because just as a person that kind of enjoys science and whatnot, I knew the flaws in trying to do something like that.
yeah.
Because there's no, the energy transfer between person to person is not there. The first person would have to be, it would have to constantly be being fed. And even then, the longer the chain is, the less energy the people throughout it are going to be getting because you're just basically eating feces. So
Yeah.
you're not really getting any actual a whole lot of nutrition from it, which you should be.
Yeah, that definitely sounds interesting,
And
though.
then the fluid, and I don't know if he actually mentioned it about in the movie and whatnot in that first one, but the fluid intake also wouldn't make any sense because if it's just butt to mouth, then there's no fluid.
Mm, true. So other than that, what have you been up to? Obviously, besides work, because
Nothing really, just gaming a little bit, playing some Halo.
nice. How's that? How's Halo? I've heard you say that there's some parts that are a bit ragey.
There are. That depends on. Some of them, it doesn't matter what difficulty you're on. It can be ragey, but definitely trying to do anything on legendary difficulty is very ragey.
Is that what you're doing? Is trying to do it on legendary?
Yeah, I managed to get through Halo Reach on legendary difficulty, and then I started Combat Evolved, but then I ended up just skipping over all of it and decided to download Halo Infinite.
Oh, nice. That's free, isn't it?
Which one?
Halo Infinite.
The multiplayer is,
Okay.
but not the campaign, which is
Uh,
what I care about is campaign.
yeah.
I'm not into the whole. I'm not really in the whole online PvE kind of thing
Right. Yeah.
or PvP.
Yeah, I don't really do a lot of competitive games either. That's why anytime if I do play Fortnite, it's with my brother and it's
Mm.
not like we don't I don't even remember the last time that I played an actual round like battle royale of Fortnite.
Yeah, I remember many years ago. I was still in high school and whatnot. Anytime I go to my dad's house, that's all my stepbrother wanted to do was just play Fortnite, and then I would play it a little bit. But then once I got my first win, I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I don't really. There's really not much else to do.
Right. Well, I mean now they have like creative maps and
Yeah.
they've added some stuff to it. Like there's Lego Fortnite now that's basically like
Hmm.
Minecraft style where you go around and get resources and build stuff and try to survive.
Yeah.
So that one's kind of fun. That's actually
What we
what.
need to do is it focuses since it's kind of around us and whatnot. We need one of these days we're going to have to do the sheets map,
Mm,
the
yes,
only up style type.
yeah. I didn't. I haven't seen that. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
if you go to Sheets and whatnot, a bunch you'll end up seeing them mention it and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forget that like some of these companies do like special like deals and offers with like video games and stuff.
Yeah,
It's pretty interesting though. I mean, it shows that the world is getting more used to gaming and acknowledging that it's not going anywhere and might as well get some use out of it.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, if it makes them a little bit of extra money, might as well, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Cuz gaming is a very big I mean, I don't know about like right now, but I know that it's grown a lot since especially like this past decade, like 2010s up to now, because just with technology and everything being better and having better graphics, having better like mechanics or whatever you want to call it, VR coming out and like a
Mhm.
better VR games coming out and all that snazzy stuff.
And I'm not sure people agree. A whole lot of people are going to agree with me on this and stuff, but I personally, when it comes to video games now, I don't like them. It's great and all to have the graphics be real, like you want them to look really good and stuff. But for me personally, I find it very difficult nowadays when playing games, especially first-person shooters and stuff, where if the graphics are too good, it gets very hard to see anything important going on just because like you can't see enemies and stuff because because all the background stuff kind of just pops out at you along with the enemy, so now that you can't really see them as easily anymore.
That makes sense.
So
Yeah.
I've noticed that with different first person, especially like with Halo and whatnot. The more newer you get to the games and stuff, and the graphics look better, even in the Master Chief Collection, because they do have on there for the older games. You do have the option to change the graphics to be brand new,
Mm.
and so it's like a whole bunch of stuff going on at once, and all that's like a re-updated map basically. And it can be very difficult to see anything throughout it, especially enemies, because they don't stand out as easily anymore.
Huh. Yeah, I never really thought of it that way. But I mean, yeah, it definitely depends because I feel like something like golf with friends. I don't think anybody really gives a shit
Yeah,
about
that
something
one's
like
not
that.
as important stuff, but like when you have like main objectives or like it usually the main objective can be very hard to figure out. Sort of like if you're just supposed to be finding something, it can be very difficult just to see because it doesn't stand out like it used to in video games.
Yeah, that's true.
And even just the enemies don't stand out anymore.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, I would ask what kind of games, but I know at least two of them that you've been playing because you and I have played together a little bit. Uno and
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
mm. As far as myself, I kind of the same. I've been maybe not as much gaming, more so like video editing and just sitting around. Um, Obviously working.
Mhm.
But whenever I have free time, yeah, I edit videos. I sometimes record them. But the thing about it though is that I'll have some days where like 1 or 2 days that I'll have off or I have free time, and I'll use that to record the videos. And then
Mhm.
once I have like a bunch that I'm like, okay, I have a good chunk of videos to edit here. I don't really need to record for a while, and that's kind of what I do. I record a bunch of videos at once or whatever, and then I wait a little bit after I'm done like editing a few of them and have them ready to um, upload for the schedule or whatever. And then once I'm getting low, I go to record some other videos.
Mhm.
Just because since I edit them on my phone, I can't have them all on my phone at once.
Yeah.
because they're not small files. Like the spoiler alert, but the third BirdGut video, it's like most likely going to be like at least 3 gigabytes, which
Ooh.
doesn't sound like a lot, but whenever you're like me and you edit videos on your phone, um,
Yeah, that's a lot.
that's a lot of storage for a phone. Granted, for the Steam Deck, I have 1 terabyte of storage, so overall on the Steam Deck, it's not that bad. But I can't edit videos on the Steam Deck, so
Mm.
just because anytime I'm on a website, other than this, like this seems to be working fine, like Discord seems to be working fine. But I've noticed, like, I tried to test and see if I could mess with stuff with my YouTube channel, and it kind of lags for some reason.
Hmm.
Like, whenever, for an example, whenever I put the end cards on my videos, like the little cards that you can click at the end of the video for,
Yeah.
like, my channel and the previous video and the next video, trying to, like, review it because it lets you watch the little bit of the end of the video to see if it's where you like it. It does not like loading very good on the Steam Deck. So,
Hmm.
unfortunately, if I ever wanted to do like reacting to my old content, I'd probably have to switch back to doing it on my Chromebook because I just don't think there's going to be any good way to do that on the Steam Deck because it's not going to load. Like, the videos aren't going to load at all. Which seems, kind of sucky, but at the same time, I kind of get it. It's more so built for gaming than anything. So I kind
Yeah.
of get why it doesn't work as well. Just because it doesn't have the hardware to do all that. Like, in fact, this Google Chrome thing is an extension. So it's not even, it's like a non Steam app in my library. So,
Hmm.
but it gets the job done for doing this. Because, I mean, it doesn't take much to run this.
Yeah. I got you.
Alright. So, moving on. So I have a list here. We may get to everything. We may not get to everything. I don't know. Last time, whenever I was doing this with Ron, we didn't get to everything, and I didn't delete the stuff that we talked about because maybe in the future I could reuse it. I don't want to reuse it right
Hmm.
now, though, just because it was literally the last episode. But the first thing that I guess we can talk about, so on the subject of gaming and rage gaming, what is your angriest that you can remember being at a game? Like, what was your ragiest moment?
I'm not quite sure. I feel like if anything I really raged out too much on, I tried to block out my memory afterwards. Um, let's see. Most recent thing that I can think of is just throughout playing Halo on Legendary, but it
Yeah.
wasn't too bad. I was
Well,
definitely getting fed up, but like usually when I rage and whatnot, I don't end up like throwing things or anything.
that's good. Yeah, I don't usually either. I definitely know what my angriest gaming moment, and everybody is probably gonna know exactly what it is too if they've seen the video. That fucking horrible goddamn ride at the end of the second BirdGut video. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, I
I
remember seeing that.
fucking hated that shit. Oh my god. Dude, like, whenever I tell you, and I think I probably have already told you, but I'm not even joking whenever I say that it took me 34 minutes just to get past that one part.
Mm.
Like, it took me 34 fucking minutes to get past that one part. And I think that is the angriest I've ever gotten at a game. Now, there might have been other times, where like just for technical difficulties, I guess I've gotten mad. Which, speaking of which, that's actually one reason why I was also mad on there was because um I was trying to. I don't know if you've heard of this game, but there's a game called Whittle Mistakes, and it's like um how do I describe this? It's a platformer. I think it's like a 3D platformer. You're this baby and you're trying to get out of this playpen thing, and it's kind of like dark humor and stuff. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I tried to record a video of it because my mom's friend sent the trailer for it to me, and I was like, bet whenever I get something to make a video on that, I'm doing it. And I saw that it had initially come out, but I never got around to playing it. So the day that I recorded that second BirdGut video, I was like, all right, I'll play it. Well, first, it was lagging a little bit because, why
Yeah.
not? So I had to turn down the graphics and shit. And then there were parts where I would get past a section and the screen would just be black. I would hear what was happening, but the screen would be black, and then it would cut back to where I can actually play. Like for cutscenes or whatever, it was like a cutscene, and the
Mm-hmm.
screen was entirely black. I couldn't see what was happening in the cutscene. Um, and then whenever I got towards the fucking end and beat it, the game fucking crashed and ruined my recording.
Yeah.
It ruined my recording because since I don't have like a capture card or anything, I have to use Steam's game recording feature. What was
Okay. Yeah.
anyway? I have to use Steam's game recording feature, and with that, they have different options. You can manually record it, like hit the button, which is what I do. I do the manual start and end because otherwise it's a background recording, and I'm like, I don't know when it's going to start and stop. Like, I don't know. And you can't export them that way,
Yeah.
which is what pissed me off because it did save the recording, but it saved it as a background recording. So I can't do anything with it. I can't even fucking delete it. I've tried to delete it and it won't delete. So that was a whole mess. And I was pissed at that because there was parts in that game that were kind of fucking pissing me off. Not as bad as BirdGut though. Oh my god. But other than BirdGut, the only other games that I've really gotten mad at are I Am Bread, which is designed, I think, to make you mad.
Yeah. That's a classic.
Yeah, I Am Bread. You know, everybody knows that clip of Markiplier beating up his controller and throwing it across the room. um, so I played that like little bits just because I got mad at it. I was like, this is stupid. I'm not fucking. I don't. Why did I buy this game? This is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And then I got. Have you heard of the game Heavenly Bodies?
I think I've heard you mention it before. I don't think I've ever actually seen any type of gameplay or anything for it.
So it's basically like you're in space and it can be multiplayer or you can play it by yourself. And I played it on the Nintendo Switch. I tried playing it with my sister, but she got mad at it and she was like, "No, I'm not playing this anymore." So I ended up playing it by myself, and oh my fucking god, the way that game controls is so fucking weird because you're an astronaut or whatever, but there's no gravity, and the left joystick controls your left arm and you grab, and your right
Mm-hmm.
joystick controls your right arm and you grab, and you have to like swing your body around to move and stuff. So if you swing the wrong way, and if you're like in something that's like outside of the space station or whatever, and there's a hatch, and you swing yourself the wrong way, you go flying off into space, and then you have to restart.
Yeah.
It was just, oh man, it more than anything, I think it was just tedious more than anything, I think, just because like I said, you use the joysticks to control your arms and you have to like swing your body around to move throughout the levels. So, yup. All right. Well, now that's done. Done with that. What? Just because I was thinking about this the other day. If you can remember it, do you remember the stupidest, like, it, whatever age, it doesn't matter, like the stupidest thing that you did as a kid? I think I have mine. I have mine. I know what mine definitely is. So, if you want me to share first, that's fine. While you think about it.
Yeah, I'd
So,
say you should go first.
whenever there's actually two things. Number one, whenever I was a kid, I don't remember what house we were staying at, but we were living with my mom's friend. And I think my mom was at work or something. I don't remember exactly how old I was. I was pretty little though. Um, my mom's friend had like one of those wax things or whatever. For some odd reason, um, I thought that it was a good idea to stick my hand in it.
Hmm.
I stuck my hand in it and got wax all over my hand and was running around screaming bloody murder. And then my mom's friend calmed me down and like got the wax off. And then apparently I tried to do it again. And I just
Didn't learn
remember
your
hearing
lesson.
that story and I was like, oh my god. And then the other thing was that, funny enough, that my mom's friend's cousin, so same friend, it was her cousin, I believe, or something like that, was babysitting me. And for some odd reason, I wanted him to put me on top of the fridge.
Oh boy.
I was like, put me up there, and he was like, okay. And my mom was like, what the hell's going on in here? And then he said, well, he told me he wanted to get up there, so I put him up there. I have no idea why. But that one, I was definitely little. I was pretty little whenever I did that.
Well, at least it didn't end with you falling off or anything.
Right? Yeah. No. Just ended with a lot of confusion. So.
That's understandable though. Like even now, you're an adult now. You have free will. If you want to get on top of the fridge, you can.
Yeah, that's true.
Just be different, you know. When was it, like no one ever does it, so why not see what it's like?
Right. Oh man. But yeah. Um. Oh. So anything that you can think of?
I know there's been a lot more. I know there's been way more stupid stuff that I've done before, but I guess the only one I can think of right now was back when I was little and stuff. I remember being in the driveway. We had a gravel driveway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I found this big old rock, right? So, and then me, just, I don't know, I didn't know what else to do at the time. I was just tossing it up in the air, right? And then just, obviously I'm smart enough to know how to move out of the way from it, right? And stuff. That's just what I was doing. My dogs were around me and stuff, and that was the only thing that I was like really worried about at the time because I was like, these idiots are gonna try and catch the rock midair. But otherwise, though, I was just tossing them up into the air, just have fun and whatnot. But then at one point, I got stupid. Then I threw it too hard and it arced too much, and then it ended up coming down onto the trunk of my mom's car.
Oh no.
Didn't break anything now, right? All right. It just hit the hood of the trunk, right?
Oh,
And so it put a very, very tiny dent in there. Um, it was barely even noticeable if you weren't really looking for it and whatnot.
yeah.
And that's actually the car that I drive today, and I believe it's still on there.
Oh wow. So you and that car have a history.
Yes, we do.
Oh man. Yeah, I know not with a rock, but I know several times like those I mean it's not exactly, but like kind of like balls that they used to use for dodgeball. You know, whenever schools were fun and
Yeah.
they let you do that.
Mhm.
Well, we kind of have one of those. I guess. Well, I guess it wouldn't be more so a kickball. Um, but I was at my old house and I was bouncing it, and for some reason, I had the great idea to bounce it and then look straight down as I was bouncing it, and it bounced and hit me straight in the fucking face. I've had that happen so many times where I'm like, "Oh hey, what's down there?" Boink, and just fucking pelt me in the face. Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, it's not like anything related with like a ball or anything like that, but
Mhm.
you might find this funny. Whenever I was down at my dad's, one time, it was a while ago. We were doing movie night. I think we were watching. Oh God, what were we watching? I think we were watching
Frozen.
Infinity War.
Oh, okay.
We might have been watching Infinity War, and his girlfriend asked my dad's girlfriend asked like if we wanted popsicles or whatever, like the pops
Mhm.
that you stick in the freezer that are just on like the stick, whatever. It might have been like a fudge one or something. I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
But she was throwing them in there. Whenever she threw me mine, it hit me on the head and I started bleeding profusely.
Bruh, how you get taken out from a popsicle?
I know. Well, I didn't even realize I was bleeding until my brother mentioned it. He looked at me and he was like, "Dude, you're bleeding." I was like, "What?" And I think it was all there was a little bit of blood on the packaging. That's not even that is not even the funniest part. The funniest part is that the part that hit me, I'm pretty sure, because of where the blood was on the packaging, was not the
Mm-hmm.
stick. It was the actual fucking ice pop that hit me in the head. It wasn't even the
Actual,
stick. The stick didn't hit me. It was the ice pop that hit me, and I started fucking bleeding.
it just hit you hard enough to where it just broke skin.
I know. That is still something that just blows my mind. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? But I guess it kind of makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I'm assuming she probably chucked that thing then.
well, that you would think, but she wasn't. It's not like she was like chucking them hard like she's in fucking baseball or anything. Especially at my siblings, because they were younger. They're younger than me, so. And I was pretty young then, so. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I know I was younger.
Yeah.
So, I know she wasn't like chucking them hard, but I guess it just so happened to be at the right speed, at the right angle, at the right spot, and it just hit, and I started bleeding. Oh man, no worse than gym class, dude. I was always falling over in gym class. Like I would go dive for the ball or something, and I would just fucking fall, or I'd run around like whenever we were doing team sports or whatever. I'd slip and fall. One time, I actually dove into the fucking divider between the two gyms. I was going for the
Mm-hmm.
ball, and I didn't realize the divider was as close as it was, and I went down like full speed to get it and fucking smacked my face off the divider
Mm.
and scraped the side of
I
my
remember the
face.
dividers in school.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I also remember sliding into the bleachers one time, like whenever you know how whenever they're folded up against the wall
Yeah.
and they have like the metal. I guess it's like a little miniature handrail kind of. It's not like a full handrail. I slid
Yeah.
into one of those. So fun times, fun times. Alrighty. Um, next thing. Speaking. So, as long as you're comfortable with it, I did have this as a topic. I will personally share mine. If you don't want to, that's fine. But I was just thinking, what was, if you can remember, your worst rejection or breakup? Oh, hello?
Oh.
Oh, hi.
Hello! Wow, Sterling joins mid. Well, not really mid. But yeah.
I just got out of work.
Oh, nice. Say hello to
Surprise.
Sterling, everybody.
Coca-Cola, como estás? You fuck.
Anyway, Gustavo, if that's something that you're not comfortable with sharing, that's fine. But I do have some that I'm gonna share.
All right.
So I'll go first, I guess. As far as rejection, I think the worst one, well, of two that I can think of that I really remember. One, I was in middle school, and there was this girl. I know her name, but I don't know if I should say it. I probably shouldn't say it, but I do know her name. I had made a Valentine for her, and I walked up to her to give it to her, and she actually laughed at me. Like, she laughed at me.
Damn.
And I got pissed. Like, I didn't even, like, give it to her. I still had it in my hand. I was pissed, and I stomped away and threw it in the trash, because I was like, fuck this.
Damn.
And thus began your villain arc.
And thus we begin my villain arc. Well, then fast forward to, like, I think sophomore year, there was this other girl.
Roughly.
Yeah, sophomore year. Well, this isn't who you're thinking of, Sterling. This is someone else, because I think I know who you're thinking of. But sophomore year, there was a girl that I liked, and I actually wrote a poem for her on Valentine's Day and gave it to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she thanked me or whatever, and then later I asked, like, how'd you like it? And she was like, it was okay. And I was like, wow. Just okay.
It was okay.
It was okay. And I was
It was
like,
alright.
yeah, it was aight. I'm just like,
It was alright, man.
yeah, it was
Holy
aight.
fuck, why is there a tractor coming? Why is there a tractor on the road?
For those that
Why is it so big?
are listening, Sterling is driving, so that's why he sees a tractor.
There's a massive ass tractor, bro. It's like 30 feet off of the ground.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
But yeah, those are definitely two of my worst rejection. I mean, the poem one wouldn't have been as bad if I hadn't put effort into that poem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I put effort into
Yeah,
that,
that's,
and she
not,
just...
yeah, that's the worst part, is actually putting effort into it.
Yeah. Like, the Valentine, it was whatever. I was in middle school. It was probably some cheap fucking Valentine thing, and I gave it to her. Tried giving it to her.
Yeah.
But now, as far as worst breakup, that would definitely be the second relationship I was in. The first one, I mean, I wasn't really heartbroken or anything, as, you know, fucked up as that might sound, but the situation around it was fucked. Like, we were all fucking mad. So I was just like, I don't fucking, you know, whatever. But the second one, even though it didn't last as long as the first one, it was still, I still felt more connected with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even though me and my first girlfriend had been together longer, I felt more, like, connected with the second person. So whenever we broke up, like, after she told me, immediately I just broke down. Like, I had this insane pit in my stomach and just was bawling. And it was, God, it was awful. I never want to feel like that again. But, you know, it's liable to happen at some point.
Oh, yeah, you will.
Welcome to the world of dating, my friend. It sucks.
Yup.
Yeah.
That's why most guys say don't get married.
Yeah, I don't really want to get married.
How do you think marriage is? It's 3 times worse.
And you're legally bound to them, so if you know...
And when the relationship is over, then it hurts you even more.
Right, especially, I think...
In lots of ways.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the worst is whenever there's kids involved. Because, I mean, that fucking sucks.
Oh,
for those
yeah.
kids.
Because you're going to have to break
bro?
the news to them about getting a divorce.
Yeah. So, yep, that's my worst rejection and breakup.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. So, like I said,
Uh,
if you
I
don't,
would be okay. I could share my greatest rejection, but not. I haven't really had a breakup that's been like bad.
uh,
It's just kind of it's whatever.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say you guys can do rock paper scissors if you know whoever wants to go first.
Nah, I don't think I'll share any today.
Okay, that's fine. Like I
In
said, you
my
don't have to.
case, I was gonna say, in my case, mine took place in senior year of high school. Oh
Mm.
boy, this girl kept leading me on. Essentially, we were really close at one point, like at the start of the year. Around Christmas, I'd gotten her like a pair of earrings or something. That was like maybe $10 per Target, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
besides that, she liked it. But then she decided to lead me on because she knew I was kind of attached. Because I have big boy attachment issues.
Yeah.
Hey, same.
I think
What's up?
I think we can all relate to
Also,
that. I feel like.
I'm pretty sure this is my first time meeting you, Gustavo.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that. I definitely should have
All good.
introduced you guys before.
All good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
We can
I'm.
talk afterwards.
Yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
true.
For sure.
Alrighty. Well, I already asked him, but I guess since you're here, Sterling, um, do you know your ragiest gaming moment?
Whenever somebody says a racial slur,
I mean,
Oh,
while I'm
yeah.
streaming at least.
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
yeah, that's understandable. Mhm.
That,
No, because like I have to go in and delete the Bob. One of my friends is accidentally. He has cost me 5 hours,
mm,
And
mm,
and
that
I'm
sucks.
just sitting there demoralized after each of them, and I just don't feel like streaming after that. And
Yeah,
I've lost so many good clips from it too.
damn.
We lost. Did I tell you about the wee wee clip that we had?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
So basically, me and a group of my boy and a group of my friends were playing Repo, and essentially, my friend just kept typing like "we" because we were talking about the French connotation of the word.
Oh,
mhm.
So it was like "wee," and then he kept typing "wee wee 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 wee." I'm like, "Yes, Connor, I get it. I've seen your wee wee," and then I realized what I had said. I'm like, "Fuck."
oh. Yeah, isn't that's in your quote book on your server, isn't
Yes.
it?
Damn.
Yeah. Yup, he has a quote book on his Discord server. It's pretty. Some of them are pretty funny.
Most of them are just out of context for reasons.
Right.
Like
Okay.
Red saying, "I'm a toucher."
Damn.
Oh my touch.
I'm a toucher.
Just, "I'm a toucher." I'm like, "Oh, you might want to give some background context, buddy." But then again, it is a little funnier when there's no context to it.
Yeah. Kind of like the one clip from my newest Gorn video where it cuts to me saying, "Yeah, he came out of his daddy's balls."
I am the motherfucking ball sack. You guys should be bowing down to me and my balls. Fuck you, Adam.
Hayden,
Man.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What's up?
Which ball do you think you came out of?
Ooh.
That's an
Do you
interesting
think you came out left or right?
I don't know.
I came out middle.
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 I came out of the middle ball.
Hey, I'm a redhead, just so you know.
Oh, okay. I understand
So
that.
Oh God. Um. uh, I don't know. I'm right-handed, so I guess the right ball.
For me, I'm ambidextrous. I'm ambidextrous,
I came
but
out of both balls.
and I mean, like, I use different hands for different things. Like football, I'll throw with my left hand. Like I generally throw with my left hand, but I ride with my right hand and kick with my right foot.
Oh. That's interesting.
I mean, I'm left-handed, but I mean, I do a lot of stuff with my right hand that I just ended. I think you're technically, if you're left-handed, you're supposed to do it a different way. But growing up, anyone who would teach me anything was right-handed, so I just learned how to do it.
Oh, yeah. That will
Like how
affect
the
that.
mouse is supposed to have a left-handed setting, but I didn't know how to do that as a kid, so.
Nah, yeah, true.
I use my left mouse button for everything.
But yeah, I can definitely understand that.
You, a school bus.
Alrighty. Gustavo, I don't know. Do you play a lot of horror games?
Not really, no. I watch a lot of people play horror games, but I don't really play them myself.
Hmm. I've played a few. I've played Alien
Those little-
Isolation. Um, I mean, I've definitely watched more than I've played myself. But I have played a few.
I
So,
remember I started to play Outlast a little bit, but
isn't there? I think there's one of those that's multiplayer. I think it's like the Outlast Trials or something. It's like multiplayer.
Yeah,
it's
it's Outlast Trials.
Yeah, okay. Because I remember watching someone play that. Um, I want to see how I want to phrase this. So
I
when
love horror.
when dealing with horror, what is one thing, like one element or something that they do in horror that just every time sends chills down your spine?
I would say it's more like psychological horror for me.
Yeah,
Like when they get into your psyche.
true.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's usually that one that I prefer is more psychological ones.
that one's definitely a lot more impactful. Like one
Like
of
give me
these
something like Amnesia.
yeah,
Yeah.
or
Games like
realistic horror. Like
there was a game back in like 2009. It was called Hotel 626.
mm,
Basically, unbeknownst to the person playing, that like once you log into the website, it would actually take a picture of you using your camera without you noticing.
oh damn.
And then once you make it to a certain room, everybody's pictures that like there's pictures of everybody who has failed the game,
Hmm.
and then you actually get a call on your phone,
Fuck that.
Dang.
That is
and then it says, "You really think you can escape? There's never an escape from the hotel."
oh my god. That's both unique and cool and also fucking terrifying.
Yeah, because
Yeah, because they're kind of grabbing random information without you knowing.
Right, that's kind of fucking nah. I don't know about that one.
To be able to get your phone number is insane.
Yeah, to be able to get that is fucking nuts.
yeah. I mean,
Well,
like I'm pretty sure you had to sign up using your phone number.
oh, okay. That makes sense then.
Oh, okay. So it's okay.
It was like email and phone number, I think, and your
Uh,
name.
well,
Gotcha.
that would make sense. Okay,
The,
that makes a lot
the
more
site got
sense.
the site was shut down in like 2012.
I can't imagine why.
I wonder.
I
Yeah.
wonder. People were probably fucking traumatized.
I would have been.
Dude, that's fucking. Ooh, I can't even imagine that. But yeah,
That
that would
sounds
definitely fuck with
awful.
me.
Yeah, apparently a person would like show up in your car or something.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Nah,
if you,
Aw.
that's crazy.
that is. That's gotta be, like. I don't know. That sounds fucking
That's stalking,
Illegal.
first of all.
illegal. Yeah, that's gotta be illegal. There's no fucking way. Oh my god.
They got your information. They can literally just put your phone number into a site and then pinpoint your
Mhm.
location and send somebody to
Yeah.
it. It's not that hard.
Oh my god.
Really, realistically, if you think about it, they actually did a very easy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually very easy to be able to find most of your info and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, nah, that would. Holy shit. That would traumatize me for the rest of my fucking life. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, for me, the thing that always sends chills down my spine is whenever they do that thing in horror movies or horror games where, like, you hear something just out of nowhere running up behind you, and you just,
Yeah.
like, you just hear it coming from behind you. Like, oh my god,
Just give
that shit sends chills down my spine, bro. Every fucking time. I
me
hate that shit.
insert the blind man with a shotgun from Repo. You
Uh,
make the slightest fucking peep, your head gets blown off.
oh damn.
The fucking buckshot in a 12 gauge umbrella.
I haven't actually played it yet. I've been meaning to
It's
play it.
it's so much fun. You need
Yeah.
to get it.
I do have it. I just haven't played it yet. I'm waiting to play it with, someone.
Are you free tonight?
um, no, actually, I have to go in today. I was doing this before I had to go in. Yeah.
I was gonna say you could join us tonight.
Nah, probably not.
I just don't like I don't like getting blown up by a man with Second Amendment rights. This is scary.
Oh man.
Must be a stormtrooper syndrome.
So, is that your consensus, Gustavo? Is psychological horror?
Pretty much, yeah. I remember also way back when Monstrum was out, that actually did pretty well overall. It had good atmosphere to it and stuff.
Is that a movie?
No, it's a game.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure I'm sure you've seen YouTubers play it and stuff.
I might
They're
have.
stranded on a ship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Looks it.
Yeah, it does look a little familiar. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway. Alrighty. Well. Well, I don't know why, but for some odd reason I have most traumatic experience on here. I have no idea why.
What the heck, man? Like, you're just trying to get my first time on here, and you're just trying to get me to reveal all deep, dark, personal stuff.
Nah.
He did that to me too. Don't worry. It's a part of the initiation process.
It's the initiation. One of us. One of
One of us. All right,
Well,
I gotta go, guys. It was
okay.
great hanging out with you for the time I was here.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, nice
Thank
meeting you.
It's nice meeting you too, Gustavo. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
Yep, you
Yep,
too.
you too.
Oh man. I don't know. So let's see if this thing is good. Oh. I asked this last time, but I'll just ask you. If you could meet one historical figure, who would it be and why?
I actually don't know.
Yeah, Ron said Albert Einstein. He thought that that'd be interesting, which, I mean, I think it would be too. But I mean, I think it'd be interesting if we met him with the knowledge of what has progressed from his work today,
Yeah.
just to see like where it all started. Well, running running low on the topics.
Yeah. I can't think of a historical figure at the moment. I'm terrible at trying to think of things on the spot.
Yeah, I get
That's
that.
the one thing I hated growing up and whatnot. Every time you began a new school year, every single teacher was like, "All right, let's make a list or say something that you like or something about you and whatnot." And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know anything about me.
Me,
I don't have a favorite.
true,
Like,
true. That's honestly that's me. I don't have a favorite of, you
I
know.
don't, there's not something I can immediately think of that I would put highly above anything else in terms of food and whatnot. Like,
Right,
I don't know.
exactly. That's like with food. Like people, if someone were to ask me what's my favorite food, I'm probably gonna tell them either steak or chicken Alfredo. One of the two.
I couldn't tell you. It all depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Right.
And plus, I can't think of every food, so I know I won't remember anything.
True. Yeah, I just yeah. I don't have favorites. Like people sometimes ask me, or like there's that question of like, what's your favorite song? What's your favorite artist? Or whatever.
Yeah, right. So those things are stupid, right? Because technically, as especially things like favorite songs and whatnot, that will change.
Right.
More often than not, it's gonna change
Right.
eventually.
One, I'm the type where I listen to bands like all the way through sometimes. So
Hmm.
obviously I don't have a singular favorite. I like the entire band.
Way back when I first mainly like when I first got Spotify and stuff, main thing, even when I was just using YouTube for music and stuff though, like I didn't really get into the whole listening to like a bunch of songs from a person or like listening to their album because I personally just thought most artists and whatnot, they have like one or two good songs that I would kind of like or whatever, and then otherwise I was like, nah,
Yeah.
I don't really like the other stuff. And then eventually, a few years down the line, I eventually got used to like listening to artists that kind of grabbed my attention and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, as far as nostalgia and who I've been listening to for the longest that I can remember is definitely 3 Days Grace. Like I've been listening to them before I even had my phone. I remember listening to their stuff on my tablet and shit. So
Mhm.
looking up on
I
school
was mainly
Chromebook like their
I was wondering how my music stuff started out was just it was mainly just finding songs that I listened to while growing up and whatnot,
yeah.
which ended up of course being like just random hits from people.
Yeah. Yep, my two main ones whenever I was a kid, the two that I was listening to all the time was 3 Days Grace and Papa Roach. Those were my main two.
Mm.
So, those are the two that I've listened to all their songs. I mean, there's a few others. Falling in Reverse, I've listened to all their songs, but they don't have quite as many as Papa Roach or uh, 3 Days Grace,
Yeah.
just because they haven't
My thing
been.
with
Oh, good.
my thing with artists and stuff is just that whenever I get kind of iffy because like if it's obvious that if you actually look at like when their albums came out and stuff, if they're pretty much like after 2 years are basically like there's one like every year kind of, and they have a whole bunch of albums. I'm kind of iffy about it because like I've noticed before, even with most artists nowadays and stuff, they just make music just to make something and get it out there.
Yeah.
They don't actually like try and perfect any like a song or anything and stuff. They just need like maybe one good song in the album, and then they can just write anything else.
Yeah. That's one thing that I like about Falling in Reverse. Ever since Popular Monster, he takes his time. He's been taking his time, making the songs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Popular Monster came out in 2019, and then their next new song wasn't until 2022.
Mm-hmm.
because they released a reimagined version, two reimagined versions of their old songs in 2020 and 2021. So it wasn't like new music.
Yeah.
And originally they weren't gonna release an album, but I guess their record label saw how popular their songs were, their singles were getting, and suggested doing an album. Which I actually have the CD for. So, because I went to their concert and I bought a shirt and their CD for their new album. I also bought it wasn't Falling in Reverse, but Black Veil Brides was there too because they were like touring together, and I bought a Black Veil Brides bandana. So
I think I listened to one of their albums, and I forget which one it was.
yeah, they're pretty good.
The girl recommended it to me or whatever. Like it's one of her favorite bands or something. So I could listen to like one album.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're pretty good. I like them. I haven't listened to like as
I
many
only
of their
listened to like
songs.
one album of Falling in Reverse too, because my friend sent it to me back in like high school or whatever. I think.
Oh, yeah,
I think
they.
it was. I can't remember the name of the album. I don't know if it is the name of the album. I know it's the one with the Drug in Me Is You.
Yes, yep, that's the name of the album.
That is the name. Okay, I thought so.
Yeah,
I think
yep,
that was the album that I'd listened to.
yep, that is the album. That's their first album actually.
Cool.
Yeah, came out in 2011, I think, something like that. And that's pretty much where they started. The thing about it though was that the lead singer, he gets a lot of hate. Like, just some of it is just,
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that one day.
yeah, it's crazy how much hate he gets. But I mean, it is what it is. I think people just don't like him because of, how he says whatever comes to his mind and he doesn't have a filter and he just says whatever he feels like. But and part of it, I don't know how much of it is part of it, but I do know that before he started Falling in Reverse, he was in prison for 2 years because he got caught up in something that was bad, but it wasn't like he didn't personally do anything, but a lot of people were calling him a murderer. And he's pointed out the fact that you don't go to jail for 2 years for being a murderer.
Yeah.
That's like a lifetime sentence. And plus that was years ago. And people still bring that up and it's just like, dude, he's not a murderer and it's been like 10 years. So like fucking stop.
Yeah.
Which is I think that's the thing that gets him the most is that it happened so long ago and people still won't leave it alone.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Because there's a lot of controversy that ends up going for like different comedians and stuff, and then like different artists and all that. And that's why, like, even if I really like a group or a band and stuff, I don't like try and keep up with them or anything, or like learn all about them and stuff, because people nowadays they don't. It's hard for them to separate the person basically from the art,
Right.
essentially. Like
Yeah.
anything that like music, they may have music or any like for comedian stuff, any comedy stuff they did in the past, people, and like eventually they might like do something that puts them in jail or whatever and makes them a bad person. So then so then it leaves a bad taste on their work, and it's like, well, technically this was all done before all this happened and whatnot. And if I like listening to the music and whatnot, I don't want it to end up being ruined by finding out they're a bad person or something. Like, just let me enjoy the music.
Right.
Like, I don't bother to try and get into the personal lives for a reason.
Yeah. Well, I definitely understand that because I don't really care about that because it was before he started Falling in Reverse. So,
Yeah.
and, like, the point has been made that you don't go to jail for 2 years for being a murderer. So,
Mm-hmm.
whatever he did, it was before. Like, he even got blackout tattoos. Like, he blacked out all his tattoos because he wanted to leave that part of his life behind.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, now whenever you see pictures of him or whatever, he's got, like, all over his arms and, like, his chest and around his neck or whatever, he has blackout tattoos. Which was fairly recent because, at least 2022, like, if you watch the music video for his songs, their songs that came out in 2022, he still has the tattoos.
Yeah.
So it was fairly recent that he did that. But yeah. Like what you were saying though, you were saying something about like separating the person from the art. I definitely get that, but there is one band that I don't think I'll ever get into because I never got into them. The only reason I know they exist is because of. Do you know who I'm talking about when I say Moist Critical?
Yeah.
So I watched his video about like his titles or whatever he makes. There was one that was like the most evil musician ever or whatever, and he was talking about the lead singer of a band that he used to listen to. I think it was Lost Prophets or something like that.
Okay.
The lead singer was like a big time pedophile.
Gotcha.
So there was like, and he was shocked whenever he found out about it, and just left a bad, like you said, left a bad taste in, you know.
Yeah. And I get, like a lot of times there are instances and whatnot like that where like it's hard once you find out to kind of separate it.
Yeah, especially if it's something big like that and it's proven, because it was
Yeah.
proven that like he was a horrible human being.
But like as long as they even in there, right? Sometimes it's like some people though will still like be able to keep that kind of thing separate though, like all the music that they made and whatnot. They don't like they were able to keep that completely separate from anything related to whatever they did
Right.
and stuff. So like you can like like I don't know anything about the music and whatnot, but I don't like. Hopefully he got pedophilia out of the music. That if you listen back to it, you don't realize what that you don't realize that it had a different meaning or whatever.
Right. And that's one thing that that's really shocking about some people is that like after something comes out about them and then you go back to their old music or whatever and you see the signs and you're like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
But yeah. Like one, it's not music related, but there was this YouTuber called Mini Lad that got exposed for that kind of thing. I don't know if he actually like did anything or if it was just inappropriate conversation, kind of like with Dr. Disrespect. But I know that he was outed for that and then was throwing his friends under the bus and just being shitty and basically entitled, like acting like, "Oh, poor pitiful me" or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's one guy that I will never watch any of his videos. If he happens to be in, because he did used to be friends with the guy that I watch, Smitty. So if he just so happens to be in the video, I'll watch it, but I will not go out of my way to watch Mini Lad's stuff, like on his channel or
I
anything.
feel like I've seen him in some random videos I've watched in the past.
I think he
Like
was part
along.
of the Vanos crew. Like, I think he did stuff with
I
the
never did get
Vanos.
into him. I never got into the big YouTubers. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Yeah, the
Like
only...
whenever I started, whenever I started with YouTube and whatnot, granted, I started early on, kind of like with Corey Kenshin and stuff, but
Mhm.
he definitely wasn't as popular. He was nowhere near as popular as what he is
Yeah.
now and whatnot back then. It ended up being like I don't know how I did it right because I managed to go through and start finding random like mini YouTubers kind of that were like branch offs, right?
Yeah.
And the more it, and then it kept branching off more and more, right? But then somehow I ended up being connected to bigger groups then and moving up in through the groups.
Mm.
Instead of normally you start with the biggest YouTuber and then you go down with it. I ended up starting with the lows and then going up
Hmm.
with it.
Yeah.
Like it ended up being, it was a weird way for me to go through it because like I was just like I ended up walking all the way around and whatnot, everything, and I still don't understand how I managed to get so miscellaneous to where I ended up like where I got and
Yeah.
whatnot. Because like if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I don't really find this is gonna be a hot take. Okay, I know a lot of people ain't gonna agree with this. I really don't find PewDiePie, Markiplier, and all them like never got into them, whatnot. So I don't really care for them.
Yeah. Well,
Now, granted, in terms of Markiplier though, somehow I managed to work my way up to Wade, and I don't know how I did it. It was very weird
yeah.
because, like I said, I went through a complete opposite side of it of YouTube, and then somehow gently made my way through. What is it called? I can't remember now. But every time a YouTube would have another person in their video or whatever, then I would slowly work my way over.
Right.
It was so weird.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have some smaller channels like that aren't like huge or anything that
I know. I
watch.
think the main ones that began it for me, I think there's a few that don't even exist anymore because that person deleted them.
Oh wow. Yeah, I think the first from my earliest memory, the first guy like YouTuber that started watching was the Gaming Beaver. So
Okay.
it wasn't like a big, and at the time that I started watching him, I mean, he was kind of big. He might have had maybe like at least 1 million subscribers or something like that, which granted now he has way more than that.
Mm.
He has like, hold on, let me check because I know that he has, I just don't remember exactly. He has 4.13 million now, which
Mm.
still isn't huge. You know, it's not a huge amount compared to some of the other people that I watch. Like Smitty has, I think, 8 or something like that. Smitty has, oh no, he doesn't, not yet. He has 7.77, but he is growing in popularity. Because when I first started
Yeah.
watching him, he had like 5. He had like, I think it was 5. It was like 4 to 5 million subscribers whenever I started watching him,
Mhm.
which was back near the end of 23 that that I started watching him. So, yeah. it's crazy.
Yeah, because that's what would throw me off and stuff too. Because like even nowadays, still and stuff, like I realize how because there's like you're gonna find out these YouTubers have like millions of subscribers and whatnot, and you're just like I've never even heard of them
Right.
and whatnot. Because like it's just you just don't realize how
Right. That
just
was
being on one part of a gaming sorry, one part of being part of the but
it happens.
my third it for some reason is like messing up.
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying though, because that was kind of me with Smitty. Was I had seen
Mm-hmm.
some of his stuff like floating around TikTok
Yeah,
or
I
whatever.
remember
Like,
seeing memes and stuff of them, but I never knew who they actually were,
right.
and until you like mentioned them to me, and then I was like, oh,
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like I said, I didn't start fully watching him until, like I said, late 2023. And I mean, he's really funny. And the way that he edits his videos, like with sound effects and all that, is kind of what I drew
mm,
inspiration from at first. Kind of.
I mean like
Um,
this.
uh, it even put an emoji up whenever you did that.
It did?
Yeah, it put an emoji up. Do it again. Yep, it put an emoji up. That's great.
Where at on your thing?
On your side, it like put it over your like where your picture is on the screen.
Away home. Oh, I didn't see it. No. Oh well.
Yeah. Um but yeah. Part of it was probably the gaming beaver too, because he also kind of uses funny sound effects and stuff, like different edits.
Mm-hmm.
I know one of my favorites, and it'll always be my favorite because it's just so much nostalgia. His funny montage 2, I think. That was like one of the earliest videos I remember watching from him. I don't think it was the first video I watched from him, but it was definitely one of the earliest.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. YouTube in general has been, pretty big part of my life. Just because whenever I was younger and I would go to my grandma Becky's house, I would pretend that I was making YouTube videos and stuff, as you do when you're a kid,
Yeah.
So I've always been a gamer and, all that kind of stuff.
A weird thing for me, in terms of like that would be hard for me to do, kind of content, like in terms of like trying to produce content and all that, is that like I got so used to watching YouTubers growing up and
Mm-hmm.
stuff that like it's kind of hard to just think of my own thing now because I'm used to watching other people play it and whatnot. And then also like I know I do it at times still and whatnot, but like, you kind of end up copying people at times like with their jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and then oh crap, what was the other thing I was gonna say? Hold on. Oh yeah, like you because like when more YouTubers get popular and stuff, like they could watch YouTubers just like you did, but eventually they kind of stop. Because obviously it becomes more of a job then and whatnot
Yeah.
and stuff. They're trying to make videos. But like but also because you got to stop watching them because otherwise, because if someone's playing a game and then that you could possibly play, then it'll be spoiled basically and whatnot and won't be as good as if you were to play it first, like by
Right.
yourself.
Right. And I usually, like if it is a game that I would like to play and not be spoiled, like with Repo, I haven't really watched anything on that. I haven't
Yeah.
watched anything on Cry of
Yeah, for
Fear.
some games like that and stuff, I would prefer, unless I played it right as soon as it first came out and stuff. At that point, like I would have to watch. I would prefer to just watch and see all the info about it and whatnot, just to figure that way I know going in a lot of stuff about it.
Right.
Because that's the problem I have with growing up. I didn't really see that it wasn't that big a deal for me. I was like, okay, cool, I have time and stuff. But now as I'm getting older and having less and less time and all that, I hate going through games now where you can make decisions and stuff, and something different will happen. Because especially like in games like Fallout and stuff, I'm just like, oh man, now I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to look up what happens with this real quick because like, do I want to do this yet? Or
Yeah. I mean, I definitely get that.
if I do this, am I not on a good route anymore? Like,
Yeah. Well, and like you were saying with copying jokes or whatever, I don't think I've done it in my actual videos, but whenever I'm not
mm,
making videos, I'm constantly quoting jokes from like Markiplier or something like that.
yeah.
Just because,
Which I mean, plenty of people will still copy each other and whatnot.
Right,
Being
yeah.
popular wants to copy each other, kind of.
I mean, I think it's okay to use something like that as long as you
Yeah.
give credit to who you got it from.
Yeah.
Like,
And then
I
like
will.
if you're like if you're like if we're all playing a game together, right, or something, and then we just go on a real like shitter spree real quick kind of, and like we're just throwing out random quotes and stuff, and we all know what we're how we're quoting someone else and whatnot, and like we're just kind of making our own spin with it, sort of,
Right.
just having a good time, like as like just a bunch of friends hanging out and whatnot. I
Yeah,
think that's a little bit okay. Like,
that's
as long
different.
as you're not purposefully trying to use it and then act like it's your own, sort of.
Right. Yeah.
'Cause I know in my stuff, I know you can go back though, and you'll definitely like. But because I have such like watch YouTubers and stuff, like most of the stuff that I end up stealing it stuff from, if I do, ends up being from ones that I'm like, if anyone actually realizes who originally said it and stuff, I would be shocked. But at the same time, I'm all like, like I don't like it was so many years ago when I had seen them make the joke or whatever and stuff. I'm all like, okay, like I think it's okay to kind of make it now
Yeah.
and stuff. Like I'm not gonna sit there and act like if anyone brings stuff up, I'm not gonna act like it's my own joke or anything, because
Right.
I'll say it once and then I won't go back to it. If I don't go back to it, then it's probably because I didn't make it up and whatnot, and then I try and make my own spin on it.
Right. Yeah. Like the one joke that I know that me and my brother have for us is calling Fortnite Fortnut,
Oh,
because in my first Fortnite video, that's what he said. He said, "Hey, you want to play Fortnite?"
mhm.
And ever since then, I have kept it. Like, it's
And there's just
great.
some jokes that like in situations you'll just think of or like remember someone saying, and then you're just like it fits here though. Like
Right.
it just pops in your head. Like it just fits perfectly.
Yeah. Oh. Um. Well, I think we're coming up close to the end here. I mean, we've kind of been going on our own little tangents and stuff, which is completely fine because I'd actually prefer that. That way we have something to actually talk about
Hmm.
and not just coming up with random bullshit. Uh,
How
but,
long has this been going for?
well, I started a stopwatch thing on my phone, and I didn't start it immediately when we started recording, but we've
Hmm.
been, since I've started it, it's been about an hour and 15 minutes.
Ooh.
Yeah. I definitely don't want it to be like 2 hour long episodes
Yeah.
just because I don't think anybody would really listen to that, but like about an hour or
It
so.
depends, A lot of people just like having podcasts on in the background and whatnot as like background noise
True.
while they do stuff. So
One, if you're like me, I will do that, but then if it's one that I'm genuinely interested in, I'll go back
yeah,
to the last part that I remember actually paying attention to.
that's my problem with it and stuff is like if I have it a lot of times my ADHD will kick in and stuff and I'm like, but I really want to listen to it. But
Right. Yeah. Oh, alrighty. Well,
yeah, hold
think
on. I think I should take a moment though to talk about the take a look cat.
the what?
The take a look cat.
The take a look at?
Take a look at these balls.
Okay. Oh, that was a good one. I've never heard that one before.
I thought of that the other day. I was like, that's a perfect topic.
To take a look at. Oh my god. Oh, I fell right for it. All right. Well, this has been the Let's Talk podcast. And our guest, the almighty Gustavo.
That's me.
Yeah, that's him. I'm gonna leave his Twitch in the description of this episode. Oh, and before we end this one, I just
Mhm.
want to clarify. I was revisiting the other two episodes last night of the podcast, and I realized in the second episode I made an oopsie. So whenever I was talking about my mom and my stepdad, I accidentally said that she married my mom's dad. She did not.
Oh my.
That was a genuine mistake. You
Wait,
gotta
wait.
realize that my
You said
brain
your
some
mom married your mom's dad?
No, she would never do that. I promise you. If there's one thing she would never do, it would be marry him, because one, it's wrong, and two, he's a piece of work anyways. So, yeah.
He's old.
That too. And he's also, I don't know, her dad. What I meant to say was my sister's dad, because my sister and I have different dads, and I meant to say my sister's dad, just for clarification on that. I was rereading it. I'm like, oh fuck, this sounds so horrible. I hope nobody paid
Now I
attention to
gotta
that.
now we gotta go back and edit the Wikipedia page for you.
Wikipedia. I have a Wikipedia page. Just yeah, this is the fucking
With the
idiot that said that his
backstory.
mom married his mom's dad.
Yeah, we had it written down in terms of family and whatnot. That went on, and now we gotta change it again.
And they just have a picture of my family tree, and then they're like, "Fuck, we gotta change it."
We gotta change it. It's just a line.
It was a lie. The cake was a lie. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that because I just happened to think about that. I completely goofed on that end. My brain moves faster than my mouth sometimes, or my mouth moves faster than my brain. I don't know, whichever way, whatever way you would like to think of it. Me have small brain sometimes. Me no English sometimes. All right. Anyways, thanks for listening. This has been a pretty good session, I think. We did
We had
have
a
some,
surprise guest and everything.
yeah, surprise guest and everything. So yeah, see you later.
See you.